Welcome to the NCV Mathematics Level 2. Our topic today is factorization, and specifically the method of common factor. Now, removal of a common factor, if we have a problem such as 2ab plus 4abc, and the question will be to factorize this expression. So we have to find the factors of that, and if we look closely to it, 2, 4 is common because 2 can divide. That's what a common factor must do. It must be something that can divide into all the numbers and the variables. So based on that, 2 and 4, 2 can be common. AB, that is common because they appear in both, but C is the odd one out. So our common factor would be 2, would be A, would be B, because that three terms can divide in all two of these terms. So we're going to take out 2 and we write it down, A, B as our common factor. The next step would be to divide that common factor into each term. So that step is divide each common factor. That means 2ab must divide in himself over here, and then plus, and then divide into 4abc. We use a bracket, very important. Open up a bracket, divide 2ab into himself, the answer is 1. Divide 2ab into 4abc, the answer is 2 divides into 4 2 times. A and A cancels, B and B cancels, we are left with a C, and this would be your answer to that factorization. 2ab bracket 1 plus 2c. This is the one factor, that's the other factor. In the next problem, we've got 3xy minus 9y square plus 27xyz. We're looking for a common factor. It's 3 will be common, x will be common, rather y will be common because it appears in all of them, right? So that's our common factor. And again, the next step, open up the bracket and divide each one into each term. So 3y divides into there gives me x. 3y divides into 9 3 times, minus 3, and the y and the y cancels, and we will have a y left. Right? Remember, exponents, we subtract the exponents. 3 goes into 27 9 times, y and y cancels, there's x left, there's z left, and that will be our factors for that one. 3y, x minus 3y plus 9xz. In my next problem, I've got 3 factors here, or 3 expressions here, terms. In each one I see there's a x, there's a p, there's a x, there's a p. Which one do I choose? Important, when you have to choose, always choose the ones with the lowest exponents. So in these 3, x square is the lowest, and in p is the lowest, and we will choose that as our common factor, x to the power 2 or x squared, and p to the power 1. Open up the bracket and divide each one into each term. So x3 and x2 will have a x left, p and p will cancel, x2 will cancel, p and p subtract 3 minus 1 will have a p2 left, and x square and x square will cancel, p and p will cancel, so it divides in himself, and we will only have a 1 left. So that would be plus 1. In our next problem here, we've got x squared, x minus 1, x minus 1. Now in this problem, the whole bracket seems to be the common factor. So x minus 1 is the common factor. The whole bracket is the common factor because they are identical brackets. So we can take out the whole bracket as our common factor, x minus 1. And again, when we divide him up here, that will be what is left. x1 minus x1 will cancel, x square will be left, and it divides in himself again, and we will have 1 left. So x minus 1 is the common factor, divides on top gives me x squared, divides in himself gives me 1. In my last problem, I've got a 3y squared x minus 2, and I've got a 2 minus x. Looks like they can be the same, but if you look closely, this is a positive x, that's a negative x. This is a negative 2, that's a positive 2. So that the problem here is the signs are not the same. When we do have signs that are not the same, what we can do is we can change one of the two, preferably the second one. We can change that sign from a minus x to a plus x, which look the same, by changing the sign before that. So changing the sign of minus z here, or plus 2z to minus z, that will enable us in mathematics to change this sign. That's exactly what we're going to do now. So 3y squared and x minus 2 will remain. We change the sign now of the plus 2z to a minus 2z. Doing that will then make the signs here of minus x becomes plus x and plus 2 becomes minus 2. That now creates that x minus 2 and x minus 2 is another common factor, and we can take that out as the common factor x minus 2, divide it into that, 3y squared will be left, and divided into that one, only minus 2z will be left. So take note of changing the sign in front of a term to change the sign inside the bracket.